braids. They're going to be large, but I'm going to show you how to tuck them. A lot of the time I've noticed people are braiding the knotless braids, and when they're using color, it's still, the natural hair color is still showing out of the braid, right? And we don't want that, especially if we're trying to, do a whole completely different color on the head. Let's say she has black hair and we're gonna be doing red and purple. You wanna be able to actually cover the black hair. Some people I've noticed do like to have that botchy look with fed-in pieces from time to time. That's starting to become a new trend now. I don't like that, okay? I like to cover my hair all the way, and it also protects the hair and makes the style last 10 times longer when you know how to tuck the hair. And you can charge more. You can absolutely charge more. If you weren't tucking before and you learn how to do that today, when you go ahead and price your services, you can include add-ons, and in the add-ons you can include tucking for like $20 more, $15 more, depending on how you price your services. We did go over pricing your services yesterday, so if you have the sign-in sheet, use the QR code so that you can go ahead and download the presentation and get the video for the class. So today we're going to be doing some braiding. I'm going to be using Supreme Hair. I'm actually going to have one of the representatives of Supreme Hair to come over and tell you a little bit more about it. If you haven't had a chance to feel it, just raise your hand. I'm going to pass it on around.
I'm the one that's from Supreme. So, how many of you guys how many of you have salons? Active stylists? Okay, great. Where do you guys buy the hair usually?
I order from you all in New York or Atlanta.
So, how many of you go to beauty supply stores? All of you, right? So, who owns the beauty supply stores? Oh, Elegant Beauty? Oh, those Pakistan people, right? I'm gonna go up. Okay, so I actually been working with Jana Collection and Ultra and Sensational Older. Please don't return me, please. All those big hair cartel. But now I'm with Supreme. I wasn't gonna come back to hair business at all, but I see that all the money that we made with these African Americans, we're sending it back to China. So thank you. I actually felt so bad about it. Nobody's doing anything about it, and this cartel is growing and growing. So I was never gonna come back to hair business, but this lady from Supreme actually approached to me. Laura, I need your connection and people and network, but our company have actually moved manufacture from China to Africa. So people actually buying Supreme is helping African people. We have manufacturers in Togo, Nigeria, and Senegal, and a few other. We're still building plants, and we're helping single moms and those who are hungry. And we're actually teaching them the braiding stuff so they can eventually move to America and build their own empire. We actually do have successful story. That's why I'm here to spreading the word. It's not enough since we're not strong in Instagram. It's not. We're trying to spreading the word, good story behind it. So I know you guys all purchasing through Beauty Exchange or Beauty Element, but here are Supreme. What we're trying to do is, so if you're trying to open an account with all those big corporates, they're not gonna open an account for you because they gotta protect those big sharks. Once stylists or salon owners try to open an account with us, with big corporation, the big sharks are not gonna buy from them. So that's why salon owners are not be able to order from the manufacturer directly. So yes, we do own our manufacturer. They are in Africa. Majority of our products are coming from Africa. Yes, we do have some products coming from China, but we are still in progress of moving plants towards Africa. So please help us grow. I'm not gonna say we're the cheapest or we're the best, but we're trying to do something to change the world, right? And who already have downloaded the app? Oh, thank you. And you know what? use the code DJ. Actually, gonna get you $10 credit on there. And we wanna travel someone like her
had a
all
chance
over
to
the
feel-
state.
No?
I love her class. You guys are gonna learn something from it, and I wanna travel the world with her to spread this word. So make sure to download the app, sign up, and see what we have. Yes, I'm gonna leave in the behind of the class, and if any question, let me know.
Do you only sell braided hair?
Right now, yes. Right now, yes. Human hair are still very owned by Chinese and Indians. It's really difficult to source human hair in Africa, you know.
You have a booth here?
Sorry?
Do you have a booth?
We don't. We're fairly new. We went to natural hair show, but Premier is more like
Education.
promotional show. So it's different crowd. So we don't have booth. But I'm here. So yes.
Missed the earlier class.
But, DJ, for the classes, she's gonna have the QR code up so people, you guys can download it.
At the moment, we do not have so we're not going to use any presentation. But I do have the QR code on the sign-in sheet for everybody to go ahead and log in and get the information.
You can scan the signing sheet. There's a QR code on there. You can view all of her classes for free.
Yes,
Limited time.
and you'll download the Supreme app and use code DJ to get the $10 off. Now,
Thank you so much, DJ. And
thank you. Thank you. So who here has experience with knotless braids? So who doesn't have experience? Who wants to learn? Basically, you want to learn? So about a couple of you. Okay, so you, I want you to come sit in the front. You good where you at. So what we're gonna do is, like I was explaining to you before, we're gonna make this color blend. I'm gonna use red on one braid and then purple on the other. First things first, when it comes to doing the knotless braids, I like to make sure I have this area here laid down, right? Ooh, 1 second, make sure I have my brush as well. So, ready? So, what I like to do is make sure I lay down the base of the hair. One of my favorite things to use is Maray's Edge Wax. Like I was telling you guys before, don't fall for the hype, okay? Do not use these expensive products, especially when they don't even hold as well as the products that are less priced. So do not spend more on things just because of the brand, just because, you know, it looks good, just because it smells good. You're not making any money off of that. They're not supporting you in any kind of way. So think about yourself before you invest in those kind of companies. Thank you.
It smells good too.
It's, well, you haven't,
No.
we'll get into it,
Yeah.
Has anyone else here not had experience with Maray's? Or I'll have her pass that around as well. So this is not a paid partnership. But I've been using them for very, very long time. If anyone feels like they can't see, feel free to come up, stand, it's all good, okay? Because I want you guys actually to braid as well and get something out of this class. So I want this to be super hands-on. If you have questions, okay, don't be afraid to ask. Now and here would be the place to ask them. So what I'm doing is I'm using the tooth of this edge brush. It's pretty thick. In a good way, I love that. And we're just gonna lay it all down in the direction that we want the braid to lay, okay? That's basically gonna set the braid for you before you go ahead and start it.
Now, do you like using berets because it's not horizontal?
So what I love about Maray's is that I have clients who deal with dandruff or dry scalp, and well, dry scalp majority of the time. And what Maray's does is that it's not alcohol based, so it's more beeswax based. So when it does dry out, it doesn't necessarily do all that excess buildup or dry out in a more cracked, flaky kind of way, because I have dry scalp clients and that just worsens the condition. So I don't use Shine and Jam and all that stuff. That's all I use. Beeswax based meaning that it's like oil based when it disintegrates or dissolves, and that's safer on the client's scalp. And I haven't had any issues with that. And like I said, it's cheaper. Okay, save your money. Stop, paying for the hype. Unless you're using a marketing tactic, like creating a marketing strategy where you want to build the followers or have people come to your page off of a major brand, then do that. Or if they gave you a paid partnership or collab, then do that. But other than that, save your money. Pay attention to what you're paying yourself, because that's taking money out of your pocket versus in. So.
Does it matter the hair texture to use the braids on?
Nope, I use it on all textures.
Okay.
And it lays them down.
Okay.
So, you see how I have this like this? You see how I just scooped it up here, scooped it there, scooped it here, and scooped it there, right? That's how you want your, no matter how big or how small you make your knotless braid, that's how you want it. Sometimes I'll even, yes?
Yeah, so I see in positioning the braid before you start, you put it in the center.
Yes.
I see some people scoop it all down.
Yes, so you have to pay attention to that, okay? Because whatever you're molding, I'm glad she said that. When you're molding that gel, wherever you mold it at is where it's gonna be. So if you don't mold it into the direction which is straight that you want it, it's gonna look lopsided if you do it in a lopsided type of way, okay? So you have here, I make sure it's straight on this side, straight down here, so it can be right in the center versus being all the way on the bottom. Because what happens when it's on the bottom, it's at the base, and when they're lifting it up, it's not a clean look. You want it to be really versatile when they're using the box braid. So it's gonna be right in the middle, okay? Now, another thing to make the knotless braid super clean, you don't want to comb through that. Because when you comb through that, it just messes up everything you just did at the base, okay? So you don't wanna do that, but you can comb out the ends just a little bit so that when you're braiding, it gives you an easier and cleaner, which is why you wanna make sure this is combed out before you start braiding, okay? Before you start laying it down with the gel. So, another hack. You wanna slice this into 3 equal legs, okay? That's it. See how I separated that? So now you got 3 legs, all right. So, now,
You want this closer?
I would kind of want that
On the
closer.
right side?
Because I have a feeling that I don't want to block them. So put it over here behind me if you can. So this,
So it just drags over?
it's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Just take one side and the other, yeah.
Now, so when I take my braid, I grab one leg here. If you guys want a closer view, don't be scared. Just come around, hover around, do what you gotta do. Come get into this look. So you see how I separated 3 legs? And when you separate the 3 legs, so no matter what type of braids you're doing, whether it's cornrows, knotless, regular box braids, you wanna make sure all 3 of your legs are even. If they are not even, they won't be a strong foundation for you to have a clean braid. You don't want that, okay? So we got 3 even legs. Now, first thing I like to do when it comes to the knotless technique, I'll take the right braid and I'll put it under. I also teach this in my class, hands-on. If you guys are in Miami or close,
Okay.
we can. I actually have my class starting next week.
Where you at in Miami?
Right on Biscayne Boulevard.
I'm in North Miami off of
Right.
Biscayne.
Oh, girl. All right, we on link. Okay.
Right there.
Miramar, Florida, Miramar.
Miramar, that's close.
Okay.
Come on, you better
Miramar.
represent. So what I like to do is make one braid first. So you see how I put that right leg under, then I grab the left leg. Now as I'm doing this, I don't have to pull, I don't have to yank, none of that is necessary, okay? Braids should not leave discomfort, braids should not leave any bumps, braids should not leave any of that. If you're doing that, it's because you're literally pulling and yanking and you're uncomfortable while you're braiding. You're adding too much tension and you're nervous, and that's okay. We're gonna teach you to relax in my class, okay? So we start braiding. So all I'm doing is pulling but not yanking, right? Now, as you can see, when this happens, you always wanna have a comb. Let me grab that. If you ever see hair starting to tangle while you're doing a braid, whether you're doing a cornrow, you can do that, and that'll easily clean it out, okay? Now, I'm gonna do the red one first. Do you notice the amount of piece, the piece, how big it is, how thick it is? It's just as thick as one of these legs. I'm gonna actually grab another one because I feel like her hair is a little thicker than that. So yes, it's about just as thick. When you're doing the legs for knotless braids, you wanna make sure the legs are just as thick as the natural hair for whatever size you're doing. So if you're doing small, you make sure it's small, just as small as the legs. If you're doing large, like I'm doing now, you make it sure it's just as thick as the legs, but you want it to match each leg, not the whole braid, one leg. That's for knotless. So you always want to feed in the hair under. You never want to feed in the hair in the front, because in the front you're gonna see the bulk of this. Yes, that bump. You want to put it in the back. So what I do is I'll use this finger to push it through the back, right? So it's gonna go under. Just give it a moment, and then I'm gonna grab another, because what I'm doing is I crisscross each leg. I'm gonna add some hair, because each leg needs hair.
Do you add hair immediately?
Yes, I start adding hair immediately because I want to cover as much as I possibly can. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? How I'm wrapping like that? How I'm just literally taking some of this hair and putting it over as a blanket?
Okay.
That's it. I'm not doing no extra twisting. When it comes to tucking, you're just wrapping the hair like a blanket. Just tuck it in, go to bed, okay? Like a baby. So you're just gonna see how that covered that just like that? Now I'm gonna go ahead and add one more leg, because this one didn't have one. Because you make sure when you're doing the knotless braid and you're making those first braids, those first couple braids, as you're adding the hair in, you add the hair in each leg, okay? So this is the third leg. Now it's got some hair. Like I said, you're gonna push it through the back, right? Now, you see when you get stuff like this, no big deal. All you gotta do is bring that over, and then you'll be able to just cover. Yep.
Right. My junk gonna be in a knot by the time I do all of this.
It requires a little bit more patience.
Clearly.
So, there we go. You just comb it out, and you just use it as a blanket.
Okay, I'll be right in your class next week.
Amen.
Nothing crazy than me.
So when you tuck, it takes longer to
No,
braid it?
no. Well, when you're starting out, it will.
Yeah,
But
that's a
as
skill.
you're doing
'cause
it,
take me
you're gonna
longer.
realize, okay, it's literally just making sure that this hair is just covering it. It's nothing serious at all. And if you start to notice that when you're doing it and there's not enough coverage, all you have to do is add some more hair. Just small pieces of hair through it. Put it through the back. Who wants to finish this braid?
Me.
Come through.
I'm scared.
Come through.
Yeah,
Don't be in honey, just go
So,
ahead. You got
all
it.
you're
way
doing is
down.
just moving the hair over. Come through. Come. Feel that? How does it feel? How does that feel? You feel the texture though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go. Okay. When it comes to the natural hair, you just want that to be tucked in, and you want this hair to be showing. And it's just nice and smooth. No crazy. Yeah, just like that. You see that? And all you're doing is just moving the hair and placing it on top, moving it around just to cover it. No extra pulling, twisting, don't.
Okay.
Do not torture your clients, okay, in any style that you do.
So question, as you go down the braid, do you add product to the hair?
Yes, I do, all the time. I just didn't want to do that
Flyaways,
just in case I want your hands to feel weird if y'all touch it. But yes, you do not be afraid to use gel. Do not be afraid to use gel. Gel does the hard work for you.
So you
We have textured hair. We need more help.
Yeah.
Don't be pulling on nobody. Use the gel for that. So you see how I use the gel to lay that out? Any random person who's not really skilled would think, oh my God, she did it so tight. She, grabbed the scalp. No, I just use gel.
Yeah.
That's it.
So many
It's
people
super
are
like that
hurt.
because you're gel. So use the gel so it can do the work for you, and that way you don't hurt your
You're
client.
using the gel to make the hair thinner?
Yes. So what I do is I will put gel on the natural hair, the legs. So I'll start doing this one. I'll put it on the leg. That's what I'm here for. It's okay. So when I finish doing that, laying down and around, as I'm braiding, I'll put gel on each leg. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do that right now. You did good, honey.
You sure?
Okay.
What about these little flyaways?
That's okay. That's okay.
Let them
What
fly.
product?
Let them
You
fly.
use
At
what
the
product?
end, when you're
Between
reason why
this
we
and
have
the
flyaways
mousse and
is
the
because,
dipping.
one, we weren't like combing out while we were doing it. Two, we weren't adding gel to
You
lay
wanted to
the
add more
flyaways
product.
down.
But you
Right.
just cut it at the
And you
end.
can also just
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
many.
so let's get this gel. Oh, let's pass this around. We passed this around already?
I think only this side fell. Yeah, that's
It's about $5. You get it the most. You can get this at Target for about $3 something. Okay, you can get it delivered to you as long as you spend $35 with Target. Get your moves while you at it, 2-for-1, purchase me. You can also get it at I know there's a couple of Family Dollar actually.
Family Dollar does.
Through Instacart. Does anybody use Instacart? So what I've been doing, because I've noticed, buying a couple at a time is not gonna work. I used to buy them at Family Dollar, and I used to buy a whole bunch at a time. And then I've noticed that the more time I go to the store, they're not there anymore. Like people know about, Marays now.
Yeah.
So it's pissing me off. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta buy it in bulk and have it shipped to me. I can't even go to the store for it and expect a few to be there. So I went through Instacart and saw that Family Dollar had them for about $4, and you can get a six-pack case for about $24 and have it delivered to you. So, yep. And also, there's another one, Walmart. Walmart. You ain't gonna catch me shopping in Walmart, okay? I'm a Target. But when it comes to their prices, it's unbeatable. So they have the gel at $3.23. So if you have a Walmart near you, I highly suggest you put it in order, because you can get about a whole bunch for like 11 of them for like less than $30. Okay, that's a steal. When you get there, do not go buy it inside. Buy it online and do store pickup.
Okay.
You might be waiting in parking for 30 minutes. Walmart ain't shit. But
Especially when
Yeah.
it's 63rd.
that's why it's cheap, because you're gonna get what you pay for. Okay, so while you're waiting, just expect to wait, but as you wait, you're gonna get all of your items and you're gonna get them at a great price. So don't go inside, don't try to shop, don't do none of that. Just order it online and pick it up, okay? I'm a very go-go kind of, I try to minimize to maximize, okay? So make that happen. So those are my top 3 spaces for anybody who needs anything near them: Target, Family Dollar, Walmart. So, like I was gonna show you guys, for the legs as I'm braiding, right? Let me turn you around. Stand up really quick. Let me turn you around. Perfect. So. Comb this out. Like I said, you don't want to do too much teaching there, because here you want that to be left thick. Left put together, stuck together. So you got 3 even separate legs, and then you grab each one. Now, like I said, right leg under. So, this is the part where I will go ahead and add gel. Anybody has the gel? Oh. Well, let me give them the top 2 so that they can see. Can someone pass around the top? For those who don't know what that brand is. Oh, perfect.
Powering off.
Oh,
That's right on time.
jeez.
So you guys see how I'm putting gel on each leg? Just like that.
Have you tried the other one? The one that's stronger?
The caffeine and the max hold, no.
Yeah.
No. This one, yellow, strictly yellow. It's the best one, it's the best hold, all that other stuff they trying to do, I already know. It's, no. Stick with the original and the original only, that's why it's the original, okay? Thank you. The best. So, I'm gonna take a couple of these, just make it just as thick as her leg. So y'all saw how I put the gel? So doing that actually helps make the braiding process much easier. And it also molds the hair to be hidden like way easier without you even having to really cover much. So. See that? You see how when you put that gel there? Sometimes what I'll do with the gel is I'll take the hair, and you see how I got this spread out, right? And it's covered. Can you see that? So what I would do is I'm gonna gel it right up against that hair so that it can stay right there, like, right? So, who else ready to braid? Who's trying to get into it?
I'm ready.
Hey, come through.
How many nets can you do in one?
What you mean?
One container.
One container. Oh,
Depends on the style.
yeah. So I know I can get 2 heads at least. If it's a box, but depending on the hair texture, some people I need a whole jar on. Okay, so that's why I'm like, you gonna have to profit margins. Okay, you're gonna need a lot of gel. Don't fall for that $10, $12 magic fingers. Spend $5, $4, $3 on your gel. If it works, use it. Keep your money in your pocket. Pay your bills. Okay. So I stick that in there. And once again, I just do the same thing. Take, like I said, you make sure as I'm braiding, see how each braid I do, I add hair. Each braid I add hair. That's what I do for the first 3 braids because we have 3 legs. So when you're doing that braid and you begin to feed in, you feed in once, that's gonna cover 1 leg. Then you braid. You're gonna feed in again, that covers the next leg. Then you braid. Then you feed in 1 more time, which is what I'm doing right now. And then it covers that last leg. That last leg gonna have some hair on it because you've been braiding, but it's not strong enough to cover. So you're still gonna have to feed in. So that's where I come in. Like I said, you put it through the back.
What are you putting through the back? The part that you just
Oh,
added,
so for
or
me,
the
how I
extra
do it, let me show you guys in a different way so you can really see how to put it through the back. So this here, put it behind, kind of like copy and pasting. And I don't like to do it that way because that tends to happen to me. Hold on 1 second. Put that right here. There we go. So make sure each leg has one. So for me, when I put it behind like this, it tends to get me off balance, right? But I'm gonna still do it that way so you can truly see how, you see how behind I'm able to, put it in. Hold on, I just want this hair to cover.
So are you just putting it under and grabbing it on the other side?
Yeah. Putting it under.
Grabbing.
Yes, and then basically I'm making this one a leg with this, and I'm making this one a leg with the other one. And then putting it behind.
Okay.
Yeah, don't like to do it like that because.
Now let me ask you, I feel like when I do this, I can do this on other people like this, but what about doing it on yourself? What would be the method? Like how would you grip your hands in order to, you know what I mean?
For me, I find it easier to do it on my head.
Really?
It's weird, but
Not me.
Especially like starting in the back, like I don't feel like I would be able to grip it properly in the back.
so.
Probably have
Let
to
me
like
reduce
keep
that.
practicing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not hard to do.
Really?
On yourself.
Okay, okay.
When it comes to like smaller braids too, you always want to feed in small amounts at a time, very small, to keep it as neat as possible. You just feed in more over time when you need to, but definitely small pieces. For this one, I can work with large pieces, and her hair is as straight as it looks. It's thick, okay? So she need coverage. Let me go ahead.
Can I give another shout out for this company also?
Ooh,
Another thing that I like about this hair too, they have the different lengths hair for what you charge. So you
Yep.
have your clients that say, I want it to the butt. You don't have to stretch or whatever. They have the length to the butt.
Okay.
If you want it to the waist, you want it to
Like
the waist.
84.
I
If just the
accidentally
little
got
kids
it.
here that
That
do the
thing
box
go
braids
to
on, the
flow.
New York short, they have whatever length you
Oh,
want.
that's
They
convenient.
have.
That's good. You don't have to make
You
it.
don't have to make it. You don't have to add. You,
Because everyone's freaking out that who just came out with the 90-inch. You guys seen that? One of these, I think it was Free Trust or somebody got a 90-inch
but they
right
have
now.
all the
And
lengths.
Supreme Bin had it.
Okay.
The kids, if you do kids box braid, they have the length just for that. You don't have to stretch. It's already pre-stretched. All the colors, excellent.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when you're doing your feeding part, do you? Because when I start, I feed in overhand. I guess you would say. When you do yours, do you start overhand or do you just basically go underhand?
I believe I braid underhand. Yeah.
Underhand.
So for me, people who braid overhand, I'm going to show you that technique. So this right here, what I'm doing, while I'm braiding, is underhand because
Yes.
my hand is going
Right,
under.
right,
And what
right.
that does
And you
is, you
cover
see, it gives a tight
Yes.
braid without you having to do anything. And your hands are not like this.
Mhm.
This is what causes carpal tunnel. When you're doing underhand method, you're increasing the chances of getting carpal tunnel and being out the braiding game real soon because you can't use your hands.
Right.
So when you're doing the underhand method, my hands are like this. You see that?
They kind of free.
Yes, they're very, very free. I can be on the phone. I
Yeah.
can twerk.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not- I'm good. It's not gonna mess up. You know, I can cuss somebody out and I can get right back to work. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what I love about. I teach that for my braiding classes about the underhand method because, like I said, if you want, I've been braiding for 20 years. I've experienced carpal tunnel one time, where I went through a situation where my hands were locked up. That was after a car accident I went in, and it was because I was using the overhand method for the first 3 years of braiding professionally the entire time.
Like this.
And I kept trying to figure out why. I know I'm braiding very well and it's not coming out neat like these other people. How? And then over time, so when you guys are watching YouTube videos, right? YouTube ain't for everybody. Don't run and do everything that YouTube tell you to do. Okay?
Right.
It's inspiration. That's it. Take it as what it is. When I was watching YouTube videos back then, I was not listening. Who wants to finish this? I was not listening. So I would have the video play, I would watch them do the braid, but I was not listening to the audio. One day I listened to the audio, and she said something specific about how she was braiding. And it blew my mind because I was like, wait, if you're doing it that way, that means our hand has to change it to a different direction to get it that way. And when I started doing that, it felt uncomfortable and weird, but I realized, oh my God, my hand feels much better that way. And when I caught carpal tunnel, it was because I was using the overhand method and braiding for like 15 hours every day.
Yeah.
So now I realize doing that, I move faster, the braid is cleaner, it's tighter, it protects the hair, it tucks the hair, it's overall everything.
And that's how she's doing it,
Yes,
right?
so wait, let me see how she's doing.
Is this
You see
under?
for you see, let's bring it, let me bring it down.
I was going to ask about that because sometimes I notice I can start out braiding one way and then the braid will start turning.
So
Right.
first things first,
Hate
when
that.
you're braiding, you always need to pay closer attention to your posture.
Okay.
A lot of time we're slouching. You're gonna have a humpback. It's gonna happen. You're gonna number one area for people who are hair, ergonomics. They teach you this in beauty school. Number one issues for people who do hair for a long time is the neck, shoulders, wrists, and the wrist and the elbow. Okay.
It is rotated.
Yeah, so you're basically here. Your whole entire, this has to be, you need to be stretching every day. You need to be drinking water. You need to be active and pay attention to what you're doing to your body. So when you're working for 12 hours and you're doing like this because you want it tight, you want it neat, you want it, you gotta relax.
Yeah.
Just braid. Okay? I'm gonna show you right now. Like literally, when I have students and when I'm teaching them, they're always like, cause they're nervous and they're new to this, so they're really like into it, trying to like, oh my God, I gotta make sure it's perfect.
too now.
We all nervous. Trust me. I stopped being nervous when I moved into my own salon. Then I realized, oh shit, I'm in this. Like I can't be nervous. Like I chose this.
It just
This is
got
it.
real.
Yes. So I gotta know my stuff. So now the more I knew my stuff, the more I was relaxed and felt better. So basically, just this.
And you
Relax
look
your
real
shoulders.
chill. You look.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can braid fast.
No tension.
When I tell you super fast,
So
you don't
the
feel
natural
anything.
hair is underneath,
Mhm.
not just like.
And you see how as I'm braiding it, I'm
Yeah,
using the
it's
colored hair to just cover it.
So
Yep.
you're fully, I'm noticing that you're fully tucking.
As I'm braiding it down,
Yes.
and I'm using that hair, the Supreme hair,
At the
to
same time.
just literally put it over like a blanket and then continue to braid. Nothing special. Nothing crazy. You're not braiding tighter, you're not twisting, you're not yanking that client. No. And like I said, this is also in my online course for the infections course, okay? You should not have your clients leaving with a bumpy head, or with a sore head, or with a bleeding scalp.
Right.
No, they should be able to put their braids up in a ponytail that same day. That's why people came to me. When I was braiding, when I was braiding and I wasn't doing it professionally, so I'm Haitian. And in our family, if you don't know how to braid, you basically a nobody. Something wrong with you, you go get fixed, okay? So I knew how to braid by the age of 6. So braiding basically taught me I had to know, as much as I'm practicing on my own and learning on my own, I still have to go out and seek education to learn what I'm doing, right? So in the infections course, not the infection course that I made, but in cosmetology school, when I went to school, before then, I realized when I was doing people's hair, they would say, oh, she's great, she's good, go to her, but you ain't gonna be able to go to sleep that night. Or your hair gonna be tight just for a couple days. Or you gonna be able to put your ponytail in a week. I didn't like that. And it was normal. People were like, oh yeah, go to her, she's good. You just ain't gonna be able to put your ponytail up for 2 days, but you good. And people were cool with it. They were coming to me. And I'm like, that's not right. Like, I don't let people do my hair just for that reason. Okay, so I'm like, okay, something's gotta give. I went to a cosmetology school in 2017, and my teacher, Miss Liz, I will never forget her. She said, braids should not be tight. I actually went to school to learn how to braid, even though they didn't necessarily teach that.
That's nice.
I know, guys. And my teacher was able to show me, though. I said, okay, if I can't learn how to braid, I need to get at least one thing out of this, which is not braid tight. I need to learn how to loosen the grip or something. I didn't know. So I asked the teacher, do I need to braid tight in order for me to, get the look that I want? So what she did was she took a mannequin, she braided 2 cornrows. She braided it tight. She braided one tight, she braided one loose. Then she told me, which one do you think is a tighter braid? The neater one, right, to my eyes, I'm thinking is the tighter one. So I assumed the neater braid was a tighter braid. She's like, no, that's the loose braid. This is the tight braid. And you can see the disgruntled, relax. Braid going down. Bring the braid back. Relax your shoulders. Because your clients don't know what they're putting you through. They don't. It's your job to take care of yourself. Yeah. They don't know what you put. Yeah, and see, because
you're feeling it.
Because no, I mean as the braider.
As a braider, she's also a braider.
You go home and so she be looking at my man like, my hands felt me. Massage them, please.
Massage them. Oh, when you get your nails done, please pay that extra money to get your hands and feet massage. And you need to tell them too. 15 minutes at least, because you're working on your hands all day. This is basically probably the only time you have to yourself to sit down and get pampered. So you better add the motherfucking massage, okay? While you at it, okay? Yes. Yes. Yeah. What did she say? It's a write-off. It's a write-off. It's a yes. Everything wrote off. Okay, that's the
It's braider nail.
Yeah. That's right.
Who else want to try?
I want to try. I just wanted to give another advice.
Yes.
I mean, I have a beauty school and I teach.
Oh my gosh, where?
Really?
Let's talk to
in Nashville, I have a natural hair school. And,
that's amazing.
I've been in the game for 30 years.
That's beautiful.
One advice that I want to tell the younger girls,
yes,
because I've been in the business for almost 30 years, and I tell my students, when you get into the braiding business, I know a lot of the girls don't like to hear this, but I tell my girls all the time, you need to start off making a habit of either wearing a body magic or a girdle. You don't want to be 60-something years old and you walking like this.
Listen,
I make a lot of money, but this is a girdle and either a long line bra or the body magic. So like she said,
she already know what one.
You want to do 2 or 3 box braids a day. You don't want to be slow.
You heard that?
I don't have nobody I've been doing this over 30 years. You don't start off like that. I tell my girls, I don't care how good you can braid, you're not gonna be in the business long.
That's right. And I tell them there's so much money in the braiding business, but you have to position yourself.
What about going to a chiropractor regularly too?
Yeah, for me, unfortunately, don't look at that as a good thing because I'm only 27 and I have to go see my chiropractor every 4 weeks to get an adjustment. Prior to that, I had to show up about 3 times a week. Okay, I have scoliosis. It doesn't affect my daily habits or nothing, okay?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But if I'm not taking care of myself as far as stretching, making sure I'm taking my bath, water therapy, okay?
Yeah. Epsom salt. Mm-hmm.
Making sure that I'm always up here with my body, I'm gonna mess up. So now, because not only do I have to get an adjustment, I had to literally go see a massage therapist to like separate my neck from my shoulder.
Right?
Yeah.
Stop. Ladies, please, if you could watch yourself. Yes.
I would suggest getting a massage once a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every month. And it's hard.
Every month, because that might also, you might not have to go see your chiropractor. Because
It's
what the
true.
muscle
Yes.
does, the muscle pulls on the bone.
Yeah.
So it's all about the muscle. I went to a massage therapist.
Yes, so talk about it, honey. I love this.
She is telling
So
the
the
truth.
muscles are attached to the bones. So if you don't take care of the muscles, that's what causes the folding over.
Yeah.
It's not the
Yeah.
bones, it's the muscles.
Okay.
So you
So
want to
you're
do,
teaching it when you're constantly doing that. You're
yeah.
teaching
So
it
you
to do
want
that.
to
Okay.
do the massage
Monthly.
Yeah.
I
monthly,
just did one in a
bi-monthly. Like I went yesterday and got a massage on my calves because we went to Aquatica and SeaWorld, and my calf was killing me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She broke.
So I went and got a 15-minute massage just on my calves.
Okay.
And then I went again today and got massaged just on my calves because of
Yeah. She telling the truth.
because of the it loosened it and the pain. Like I even was just stretching. I'm like, oh my gosh, like.
You can feel the
But the
Yeah.
massage, they
Loosened
like
up.
every time I felt
Yeah.
him get one of those knots and work it out, and I'm just like,
See,
and if
I
it
have
doesn't
a
hurt
on my shoulder,
a
lot of
little bit,
knots.
and if it doesn't hurt just a little bit, it's not doing anything.
She's telling,
Tell more pressure, more pressure.
because you will get, I hate to say this, but you will get greedy in this business. And there were days I have done 3 knotless braids
Okay.
in a day. And you're just trying to make
Work,
that
make
money.
that money.
And then you
Yeah.
get lazy. And I'll go like a
second
month
you
or 6
sit.
weeks. And then I gotta go to the massage and I got this big knot.
That's what he said.
Right
Because
here.
you're not
And he gotta
consistent.
just-
That's
right. He
because
said
you
that. I
just
had
keep
not
thinking
been
about the
trying to
money. And
invest
now
in
we have
yourself.
to
That's
work
just
all
invest in
night.
And it was hurting so
But you just
bad.
think, oh, I'm gonna make this money. Oh, I'm
I
gonna do
gotta
another one.
make-
And
yeah.
4 or 5 weeks went by and you don't wear no girdle.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you just making that money. And then all of a
That's
sudden you wake
killing
up
you.
and you got this big knot. And then I gotta go
It's just,
and they gotta,
it's
because
just
I'm
as
a
much
teacher
of
and a
bringing
stylist
yourself to
and
the
they gotta
work for your
get
massage
that
than it is
knot
taking
out.
a
Right.
So
You're right.
Like,
I just had that happen to me last month. I went. He said you
Whenever
had
I
to do a lot of work up in
Yes,
this. I
you
had
hit it out.
knots,
You
like
gotta
so
take
much
Yep.
tension.
It's so
And I
heavy.
noticed I have a herniated disc
And
down here.
she's right.
Your
Like she
body
said, you
doesn't
should be going
I mean,
once a
sharpen
month.
your shears.
Pre-party that 2025.
Do you,
Pre-party just took out
you
of
take
that
care of
warehouse.
your body is your
Yeah.
your body is your
So I'll
main
just
tool. You take care of it.
separate,
You gotta
1,
take
2,
care of it.
have the back left out,
That's
start
part
doing
of
my
the business. People don't
Now,
want to tell
when
you.
it's
They
time
just
for me
make
to
it think
draw,
that it's all about the money.
So I
I
hurt
like
my
to
lower
start
back and I
on one
couldn't
side
walk
first,
in 2008. Like it was my clinicals for massage therapy, and I'm like, how am I gonna go massage 50 people if I can't even walk? And so when I went to the chiropractor and they did some, adjusting, and I'm just like, but one of my
and
really
then
good
I go
friends
on
came
the
and massaged
opposite
me every
side.
single day.
Yep.
And it
Right.
wasn't until her and the
And then
massage
what that does, it
that I
helps
started
me get a more
feeling
evened out
and
angle.
so, and
of how
I
much
keep
hair
telling
I'm
my
going to
body,
use.
I'm just like, I don't want
So
to get to that
it's
when
point where I
you're
can't
just
walk
drawing
again.
the line.
So
Here,
if one
here,
get like
I would go
that.
every week once,
When you're done, you look
twice
back
a
and
month,
realize all of
but
it.
at least once a month.
What I do is I start from one side here,
Okay.
It
Right.
will
Once
make
every
you,
couple of weeks, depending
got
on
one.
the break.
Now I can see
that
how much
it
I'm
will
gonna
allow
do
you
on
to
the
do an
opposite
extra
side.
box.
Okay.
It will allow your body to do, like, you will make up for that money. I mean, I don't know, I've never done a box break, so I don't know how much
All
you
my
make.
heart,
We get
all my
250.
heart, no matter what.
Okay,
I have
so you
three
go
days on it.
spending $50 to go get a
Not
massage.
in break
One clip.
Yeah,
one
so go
clip,
spend
one
$50,
clip.
go get you a
I may
massage
have
to
one
take
or
care
two
of
that I gotta clean up, but it's not gonna be like, oh, I'm
Everything.
just doing it, and then I realize like 6 of them is already even.
Right.
This one's
Okay,
bigger.
alternate after
I'm going to Memphis.
And then it brings you closer to the middle, and then it has action right now.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's how I do the party, and then you see here,
15.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to look out for me.
In order, right, right.
I got my grandbaby here.
okay, so we got about 9 minutes left in this class. Yesterday, I talked about so much good tea, y'all. Like how to pay yourself, where to start at, insurance. Listen, how many of y'all up in here using your hands and feet all day, working 14 hours, braiding, up until 3 in the morning, and ain't got not damn insurance? All of y'all.
I have insurance.
I know.
You have to have insurance.
Celebrities insure their voice.
You have to.
Hand models insure their
J-Lo got her butt insured.
Period. Okay, I
It's
can get on her
insured.
bike. I'm about to insure everything. Okay.
Jenny,
You need to
You have to get it.
you need to get insurance, whether that's life insurance,
Okay,
if
how
you
much
drop
it
dead, your
cost?
kids are good, because this is like stripping money. This is drug dealing money.
Yes.
Okay? It's gonna be so
Yes.
good, you're gonna be like, damn, I just spent it already. It's okay.
And
I'm gonna
I'ma get it back tomorrow.
And then 5 years gonna go by.
KOB,
neck
I already
fucked
know
up,
about that.
hands fucked up, but you still gotta work and you got debt now to worry about. You got kids now, grown. You can't take through to college. You ain't got nothing to show for. You can't even buy a house. You gotta listen. You are self-employed. You're not just a braider. You're a businesswoman first.
better
Explain that
listen.
to your clients. You are not just a braider. You are a businesswoman first. Okay. Your hands, your gifts. That's just a plus. You have to secure yourself. If you're doing this full time like me, you don't have a boss to sign your checks
Nope.
to be like, hey, this is how much I go to income
Here's your
taxes,
benefits.
for your Medicaid, for your Social Security, to go to federal, to go. You don't have nobody doing that. And then when you start making good money too, they gonna come for you.
Yes, they
They
are.
will find you. I'm telling you, they will come for you. Stop thinking they're not, because they will. I experienced it, and I had all my stuff checked out. Okay, everything, which is why everything went smoothly for me. But imagine people who don't have their stuff in order.
Yep.
You can't grow. Okay, so if y'all plan on doing this 5 years, think about it. Like, where am I gonna put myself? Do I plan on opening a school?
And just to add to her, like I said, I'm a school owner.
We need to
All
talk
of y'all
about it.
that's doing this under the table,
Stop
let me
it.
tell you something. You better stop. Like I tell my students, you never know when you go out there and get hit by a car, or God forbid something happen and you can't work. You're not gonna get a disability check.
That's
You
me.
can't get a Social Security check
That's me.
because you ain't paid into nothing.
You ain't.
So
you ain't paid. You
disability
making all your
insurance, I talk
Yeah.
about that in the class on the online course. You can get 2 years for a short term or 4 years.
Yeah.
You pay a small premium.
You got
Okay,
to.
this is what insurance is. They're banking on you to not pay.
They don't want you to.
But if you're gonna be hustling every day, you
Yep.
might as well pay.
Pay.
Okay, insure yourself.
Yep.
That $40 a month for a small
Exactly.
premium to secure you for 2 years worth. Let's say if your personal bills are $2,000 a month, they will give you that check if you can't use your hands. I've done hair with a cast on because I was not thinking.
Wasn't in- yeah.
My clients, I had to cancel 3 of them that day. One of them was like, no, I took my hair out already. I need you to come. So I went the next day. She was like, you could take breaks in between. She wasn't a mean lady. I love her to death. She needs her hair done. You are in business.
Yeah.
They need a service. You
Yeah.
gotta be available to them however you can, and that means securing yourself, creating a foundation, having insurance. That $40 a month will cover you.
Yep.
Will cover you for at least $2,500 a month in your personal bills for the next 2 years or the 4 years, whatever term policy you choose. Think about life insurance.
Have to have it.
You gonna die. Do you have a savings? I don't. I don't. So if I'm
Retirement.
I'm saving
Y'all
to
gotta
do
put up for
something.
retirement?
But I ain't got that. Okay. So you guys gotta make sure your kids are secure. This is not a hustle.
It's a
You can make
business.
so much good. Oh, man.
That's a whole nother
This
class.
is an underestimation of how much money y'all can make as a braider, but they downplay it so much and the bad rep we get because we're not prioritizing what we do
Exactly.
and taking it seriously. It's not our fault, there is a disconnection with the cosmetology.
It is.
You notice how in cosmetology school, they say you need a license to learn certain things, but you're not even gonna learn how to braid. Or you go to natural hair care school, you go get the education, but you still can't wash hair or can't provide treatments, which is also part of protecting the hair if you're doing protective styling. There's always a disconnection. So because of that disconnection, it discourages us, right? But I feel like after today, hopefully this will inspire you to wanna not just go get educated, but wanna stand up for ourselves, for people who look like us, so we can advocate for ourselves. I do have a petition up. On my website, DJ Styles Miami, you'll be able to see that petition. It's mainly for everybody to come together who are braiders, who are in this industry, who do what we do, who can create our own law, not laws, but regulation. I don't want to create no more laws. You've seen recently they took away the braiding licenses. That's fine. Leave it just be. Oh, as of 2020, yes, you no longer need a license. You'll learn that too for free
Nashville, you
on
have
my
to have
courses.
one.
Yes.
In Alabama, you have to have.
You
Nashville,
certain
you have to have
Alabama too. And
But you only have to have one because about 100 of us fought for it.
that's what I'm
We
saying.
went
And
downtown
that's-
and we
and
fought for it.
And that's what
In the
pisses
courthouse,
me
we knocked
off.
on doors and we
Because
fought
we
for it.
need that. But
Yes.
they took it away, which is why I
Kudos
want
to us.
I want us to
Yes,
create a
you
braiders
gotta fight
board.
for it.
I want us to create a braiders board.
And we gotta break. I would be on it.
I spoke actually with one of the authors. Hey, did you guys notice the cosmetology book? It's predominantly black authors.
Yes, I see that.
I did not notice that.
What book?
I'm gonna look now.
Well,
Did you notice how the cosmetology book is this big, but our natural hair care book is this big?
Right.
There's no inclusion. It discourages us, and we call ghetto, unprofessional, unprepared. But this is how we make a living. This is how we eat. I don't have a degree. I don't have CEO experience. This is it. This my brand. That's it. My hands.
And we have to learn that this is where we
your
make our money. I'm literally like, I'm going through it right now. So with me, I have kids, so I have to learn how to do this hair. I got my babies. Oh girl, cause I got pregnant. Oh girl, I got pregnant. I'm like, I'm old. I'm 50.
Oh, you look good, honey.
My
Don't tell
baby-
nobody that.
I got a 16.
My grandbaby is 15, got a Braids license. I'm bringing her the right way.
That's right.
It's
And
so
I
much
want
money in
us.
this business.
It is a lot of money in this business.
gotta
We have
get
to learn.
You got to.
Want to know what I heard? There was a video I
But we
watched.
gotta work together. It's
right
too many of us
that's
not-
true, too.
We're not working, and we're not working
Together.
We're not networking. It's so much out here to learn, and it's like you look at people, it's like, oh, you, and if you find somebody at shows like this that are willing to work.
That's why I appreciate this so
I'm
much, because some
telling
people
you,
don't want to
guys,
tell you what
I've
they
been
know.
paying here for 5
They feel like,
years.
well, I had to go to school to get it, so you had to go. They don't want
I've been coming here for 5 years, and every single year I
Do you
notice
know
there's
how
nobody
much
that
it will
looks like me that's
Yeah.
teaching this
That's
stuff.
gonna be
Last year I said I've had enough. I'm gonna find a way to get in, and I'm so glad I did because I didn't know that there was so much people who's on the same page. We need
That's how I feel.
regulation. What we do is serious. We need to know about infection control. We do need to know about scalp disorders. We need to know about hair types and textures. We deserve to know about that, but we should not have to suffer for a whole year or take $20,000 worth of debt to do it, or go through the natural hair care schools and now have your license revoked or null and void because you're in a specific state that withdrew or reformed the law. That's not fair. You put time, you put money, you put energy in this. So you deserve an organization that can stand up for us and make our own rules for what we do.
But what I do wanna
Sanitation
say,
rules, all that.
I gotta
Because
get with
don't
you.
you notice how people now, since they no longer need licenses in 2020, there's so many random people now who are just like, hey, let me start a braiding class. Let me start a braiding school. You didn't go to any kind of school. You're just teaching a skill. You're teaching on how to create more tension, how to create more bumps on the head, how to create more traction, alopecia, which they don't know nothing about because they didn't get any real education. We need to stop that ish because that's going to continue creating an even badder name for us down the line. There's going to be more people creating braiding schools, and they're going to think they can just do whatever they want. No, we need an organization that's revolved around us that can accreditate
do it
us,
the right way.
that can not license us because we don't have to do that, but that can direct us to where we can get specific certifications to get continuing education. That can have a directory for professional and licensed braiders or accredited schools. Something for us to go to, okay? Because cosmetology is a whole bunch of white, fat, bald men. And they don't do hair. They don't know anything about our struggle.
They've been out of the salon, most of them, for over 20 years. My teacher hasn't been in a salon in 30 years.
And you're supposed to expect them to be able to teach you
What
something.
you teaching me?
And listen,
Everything has
let me tell you one
Everything
thing.
has
One of
changed.
the fastest ever evolving, changing industries is beauty.
Yeah.
Beauty.
Every day.
Especially now with digital. Oh, you're
It's
fucked.
changing every
okay,
day.
There's a new style every day on Instagram. There's a new TikTok, YouTube,
A new
there's a new
heart
product,
style,
there's a new
trend.
style, there's a
The
new
heart.
trend.
Yeah.
There's a new kinky faux lock, new locks, mini locks. It's always up. Okay.
Right.
So you gotta be up on game. So if you guys can, djstylesmiami.com, you'll get all my information there. You got the bags, the goodies. Please take goodies. Take them home.
I appreciate you.
Of
Thank
course.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yes.
let's say you got.
Tell the girls to start.
Our people, they are meant to get their skin. I have been only that to get skin.
Okay,
And
pretty
everything that she said is taught in the program.
Yes.
Alopecia,
Always
all of that
empty
stuff
and
is taught.
it helps
But you know
all
the
the
problem is,
stiffness away,
many of
and it
us, we don't
seals
want to
the
take up the
bottom.
risk. Like the lady